Hello to this afternoon taste challenge. This is to make up for a future date. I'm gonna have to do a few of these, I think. That's all right. Well, we have from 1984, Canadian Hunter. This is the Sazerac style Canadian Hunter here. It's in that benchmark. See the benchmark style bottle, ancient age style bottle. With their bullet, the bottom of the bullet cartridge, two hunting dogs, the man with the rifle. The Canadian Hunter. Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. Oh boy. 40% alcohol. Pretty popular product. Don't know what number it is in best-selling whiskeys, but it's in the mix. Best-selling Canadian whiskeys, I mean to say. Don't know the distribution of it. United States, we get it. Who else gets it? I don't know. Here's a distant cousin of it. Crown Royal Bourbon Mash, alternatively known as Blender's Mash. Bought this bottle last month, I think it was, at Mathern's. They got one bottle left as of last time I was in there. It might be gone now. Nice label. The label's made to feel like burled, I guess they call that, leather. Beaded leather. It's brown, different shades of brown, tan, and copper. The Blender series. I was confused about that. This is the first of the Blender series, okay? I was saying the wrong thing. I thought the Mesquite, Texas Mesquite was the first of the Blender series, but no, this is. And there's an article from 2 years ago on ForbesMagazine.com. The distillery's mash bill for this particular whiskey is 64% corn, 32% rye, and 4% malted barley. It is distilled in a continuous still using a short bourbon column. Previously released as bourbon mash to the U.S. Technically, the use of bourbon is restricted to whiskeys whose mash bills are 51% or more corn-based. That would qualify here. And produced in the U.S. That would not qualify here. Surprisingly, the distillery originally got permission from the Tax and Trade Bureau to use the label, but later opted to change it. Yeah, they opted to change it after they were told to not. If they didn't change it, they couldn't sell it here anymore. And this article is from June 7th of 2018. Okay. Sorry. An interesting article that goes on about, you can look it up. If you type in Crown Royal Bourbon Mash Forbes, it's going to come up. Crown Royal's Blender's Mash. Is this, or Blender's Mash, long since it got forced to change the name. But here's the bottle with saying Bourbon Mash. Okay. Showcases the warm vanilla and subtle oaky notes of our bourbon mash whiskeys, among the most flavorful and complex of the 5 unique whiskeys that comprise the extraordinary Crown Royal signature blend. This special blend is a richly layered, perfectly balanced whiskey that has the complexity of a bourbon with the signature smoothness of Crown Royal. Okay, got Nina Yorty commenting here. She says, commercials out the wazoo before the video came up. You sell out, Ron? I did. They came to me in 2011 and asked me if I wanted to have it done that way with the ads running. But apparently it went wild like recently because other people have been complaining about it. I don't control how they come up. I would rather if it was just little pop-ups, So I don't know what's all these commercials. Okay. I'll pour the, so I mean, it should just be one and then move on. You know, so that's CR, Crown Royal. This is the other whiskey, the Canadian Hunter. So what's the relationship? Strictly commercial, yeah. Huh. It's sad. The relationship is that Canadian Hunter was introduced by Seagram's in 1975, and Crown Royal was introduced by Seagram's in 1939. So they both originated with the House of Seagram's. But then Seagram's went kaput. The name is still out there, but the actual family-owned company is not out there. Tina Turner sang and background on commercial, and Ike wasn't impressed. I found this old bottle at International Market. Imported Seagram's Canadian Hunter. Mellow Canadian Sippin' Whiskey. Now this one says aged 3 years. White Rock Distilleries, Lewiston, Maine. Well, Sazerac owns that today, White Rock Distilleries. Here's the old label. It's got a different color jacket. I guess it's a different hunter. See this old one? This is an unopened bottle. See what it says? Seagram's Canadian Hunter. The bottle's so old that the gold is oxidized, like it's starting to turn kind of greenish looking. Not really, but it's, you can tell it's old. It's crackly. Canadian, mellow Canadian sipping whiskey. Okay, so this was a find. They still have one bottle left at International Market if anybody's interested. I was over there not too long ago and they had one bottle left. $8.99 for this. I think it's lighter than the current version. Did they change it? Looks like it, doesn't it? Look at that, amber and straw. Well, one day, and I don't know when that day will come, I'm going to try to taste it. Well, we'll taste it and see what I think, if it's changed. My friend David was saying, don't drink it. It's gonna make you sick. I said, it ain't gonna make me sick. These whiskeys don't go bad. I got a laugh out of that. All right. So once again, I didn't change anything as far as ads, what ads run. It's been whatever I clicked on in 2011. 2011, I say, yeah. You know, that's what they're asking. A question. Do you want? I say, yeah. And however it gets set up is on their end. Their end, not mine. Okay. So this one is gold. This hair by my nose is it's tickling my nose. And this one is amber, copper. I don't need tags. I don't even know why. I forgot. I don't need tags. Canadian Hunter is gold, and the Crown Royal Bourbon Mash is Blender's Mash. Bourbon Mash is dark. It's copper. All right, but I'll just take the tags off one, later. Did this slosh out? Damn. I want to watch the Yankees and the Red Sox to an extent. I want to watch it. I do kind of want to watch it. I was looking at the Red Sox hit a 2-run homer. Okay. All I should say a member of the team hit a 2-run home run. Obviously, the whole team didn't hit. Woodford Reserve Bourbon has been advertising and just so happened on a bottle. What a product. I have a bottle of that, thanks to Sonia, who I talked to this week. But I hadn't got to see her personally since all the cocoa bee. She worried it's going to get spread to her mother. I was with 2 people yesterday that's so hyper hysterical over the cocoa bee. I was like, man, it's amazing how the government can manipulate your behavior this way. But I'm not getting into it. Okay. This challenge is going to start and end in less than 1 minute. Watch. That's the bourbon mash. You know why? It smells like charred oak, corn, vanilla, and bourbon. And I'm not trying to be sarcastic or smart mouth or rough about it. That's just what it smells like, because that's what it is, except it's made in Canada. This smells like Canadian Hunter with your mild kind of, if you want to say bland, okay, mild thing. And then the I say they add white rum to it. I could be wrong, but I know Canadian whiskey adds white rum, maybe a little dry sherry, and then just that generalized kind of candy sweetness. That's your natural flavors. Taste time. Well, I'm going to reveal it already. Before I even taste it, I'm going to open my eyes and I'm going to tell you this is the bourbon mash. Exactly. Of course. You cannot mix them up. It's not going to happen. Now, whether you like one or the other, that's your opinion, and that's fine. But there's no anybody with a trained nose, and I have a trained nose from tasting these and smelling these again and again and again and again and again, repeatedly, you're not going to mix them up. Beer Hound. Well, how do you do, Ronald Rue? 15 minutes of exposure, what I've been hearing. 15 minutes of exposure. I'm fine, Bill. Okay. Somebody's gunning their V8 on US Highway 61. Better watch it. It's slick, these rainy roads. Not Randy Roads, rainy roads. Charred oak, vanilla, and a lot of oak. This is very woody. If you taste the Crown Royal Blender's Mash, Bourbon Mash, you'll be hit with a very charred, charcoal, charred oak experience. Why is it not a bourbon? Because of one technical reason. It is made outside the United States. If you look at it in a practical sense, like let's forget the legal requirements. It is a bourbon. All right. But in a legal sense, it cannot be. So if you say I like bourbon, then drink this. You'll probably like this. It's got that Crown Royal quality control thing going on. So it's smooth, medium bodied, nice, kind of little lingering finish. This weather's crazy. We got a cold front coming from the northwest, and from the northeast, we got the band of the tropical storm Beta coming in, and they're like clashing. So you get damp rain, air and rain coming from the east and northeast, east, northeast, and from the west, northwest, you got dry, cold air. It's 70 degrees right now, and you know that's a bad chill when it's super humid and it's 70 degrees. Probably it feels a lot colder, you see. First cool day we've had in Louisiana since early May, and it went from 90, you know what I'm saying, the 90s to cold, or feels cold, you see. So that tastes like good bourbon now. Hunter. You can actually pick up more rye on the Canadian Hunter just because it doesn't have the overriding strength of the bourbon barrel and the smoke. Not the smoke, the char. Canadian Hunter is popular. Why? Because it's really great. Probably because it's really cheap. Chili down to 44 tonight. Yeah, we'll get that in November. Maybe late October. Nice set of good years will keep you on the crown of a blacktop. That's a blacktop highway. Canadian Hunter's always been a decent whiskey for the price, says FD. It has been, and it is. How about those Raging Cajuns having a ranked football team? Yeah, they're number 19. I guess when the polls come out tomorrow, they'd be number. Well, they might be out today, huh? They'll go up to number about 17, probably. Bipolar weather. Yeah. Extremes. Dry and cold versus humid and warm, or even hot. So let's take this into account. $27.99. Is it better than the $8.99? You have to decide that. Nine times 3 is 27, okay? So I can buy 3 of these Canadian Hunters for one of these. And get changed because this is $27.99. All right. And that would be $26.97. So really, $1.02 more for $1.02 more for one bourbon mash versus 3 bottles of Hunter. I guess in my case, I'd buy the 3 bottles of the Canadian Hunter because it's not bad. And you're getting way more. But you would have to take into consideration what is your volume of drinking, and all these other things. And do you like this maple syrup? That's what David was telling me on the phone. I don't like that Canadian whiskey. It all tastes the same. So it doesn't all taste the same. There's a general commonality, but it doesn't all taste the same. He said it all tastes like maple. I think when they add these flavorings, they do try to approximate in some ways maple syrup, because people think of Canada, they think of the maple syrup and the maple leaf. Okay. It's fine. I mean, if you like it, really, if you don't have a sweet tooth, though, I don't think you'd like it. Because it's kind of sugary sweet. I'm going Canadian Hunter for value, says FD. Maple candles are nice, says Nina. Oh. But then let's get off of that. What's more better for the value and all that? I just like to try different things in my case. So I don't buy anything to actually drink on purpose anyway. I'm just doing taste challenges and trying to taste everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like people ask me, what's your standby whiskey? There is none. There is none. I just going through the brands. I said this years ago. It's the long march through the brands. There's no standby rum. It's whatever I'm drinking at the time. There's no standby brandy. There's no standby rye whiskey. No standby scotch. No standby single malt scotch. No standby Irish whiskey. It's all just getting through the brands. Beer, yeah, I have standby beer like Keystone Ice, because I can get a 15-pack for $8.99 when it's on sale. So yeah, that would be my standby. And I'm going to drink that. I do drink beer regularly. I told y'all 22 to 24 12-ounce bottles or cans a week. That would be extremely high for some people, extremely low for others. Seems to be just right for me. In my opinion, the bourbon mash is better. All right. It's just a better product. Is it 3 times better? I don't know about that. Maple can. Oh, maple candy is nice. Well, maybe maples are nice too, you see. I got to call or check and see if international, oh, not international, world market, cost plus world market is open anymore. Because it closed down when the cocoa bee hysteria started. And I used to like to go in that place. They were kind of expensive, but they always had interesting things in there. I'd like to go back. And they always have something nobody else has, you know. Okay, so who wins this? Oh, how do you determine this? People will say, who's the winner? Who's the winner? Well, I guess the bourbon mash is the winner. It has, to me, it has a little better flavor. The body is about the same for both of these. The finish is similar. So there's nothing extreme there. They're kind of just standard. You know, medium bodied, kind of a moderate finish. If we're considering price, and many viewers have to, it's your call on that. I'm gonna say your call. Fielder's choice, like in baseball, fielder's choice. You can throw to third base, or you can throw to first. It's up to you. All right. But the man is not going to get credit for a hit because you could have easily thrown to first base and got him out. You chose, the fielder chose to go to third for various reasons, so you don't get credit for a hit. So I don't think Crown Royal Bourbon Mash gets credit for a win in this case because there's too many different variables here, like price point, costing 3 times as much, and not being 3 times. I really don't think it's 3 times as good. So it's a balancing act in this challenge. The other part, are they different one from another? And would you ever confuse the two? Impossible. It's impossible. Impossible. There's no way. I don't think anybody in the world, I really believe that. I don't think there's a person with, assuming they have aroma and taste, their sense of taste and smell is working properly. I don't think there's a person in the world would confuse these two. No way. So bottom line, you can easily tell them apart. The bourbon mash is 3 times as expensive, or costs 3 times as much, because neither one is what you would call expensive. And as far as which one tastes better, I personally think the bourbon mash tastes better. In fact, I really want to taste some more, but I'm not going to drink anymore because I'm going to be stingy and save it so I could do more taste challenges. Look how much I've got left. I'm not going to waste it. I have 96% of the bottle left. This one, it's going to be years, I bet you, before I get through this because it just gets clipped a little bit when I do a taste challenge. You know, it's not going to go away fast. I wouldn't drink it otherwise. And then I got to bring this in, which to me, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a different whiskey. So it will be a different whiskey challenge. It won't be the same brand. And that's making me, you know what? I think I need to make that decision right now. After I do the, no, I'll tell you what, before I do the Crown Royal Black, I'll do the Seagram's Canadian Hunter because it's only fair. I bought that one last year. It's been waiting around. It's a bottle that's over 30 years old, and it only makes sense to bring it into play. The Crown Royal Black ain't going anywhere, so why rush that? So yeah, and then I could do, yeah, why dissipate this? Then I can do the Crown Royal, I can do the Seagram's Canadian Hunter versus the Canadian Hunter and see if my thinking, they're going to be different, okay? That'll be a fascinating thing. Johnny Neely says, cheers, legendary Ronnie boy. That blender's mash is on a roll, huh? Sure is. Hasn't lost the taste challenge yet. It isn't going to lose one. It is not going to lose one. And like I showed you, I got the bourbon mash bottle. People are saying, don't open it. It's a collector's item. Yeah, sure. Yeah, in 30 years, somebody's going to come and say, you paid $27.99. I'll give you $29.99. Yeah. The only place that thing's getting saved is in my belly. Okay. So going back and watch the football game. I do have a taste challenge coming up. Probably be recorded, not all live. I'll just post it one day. It's going to be Pilsner Urquell, versus Venezuela, because Rutland Douglas of Virginia Beach area, he said, hey, I want you to compare Venezuela, which is Aldi handles it. It's not an Aldi brand, but they handle it. Put it up against Pilsner Urquell, a Czech Pilsner, and see how they're different. I don't know if I'll be able to tell. People always talk about Czech and German Pilsners are so different. I'm going to try to tell them apart. Aldi's has that mini keg of Pilsner. Yeah. See, we don't have an Aldi's yet. Maybe next year. I hear some talk. Hearing some talk. I'll go. Okay. So that's it. It's I wouldn't call it a victory or a loss. It's just a draw because of too many factors. So this is a draw. It's an approach conflict. John and Neely would disagree because his opinion of Canadian Hunter is not good, but that's how that works. People say what they want about stuff. But I'm gonna say I like it. It's a winner, $8.99 a bottle winner versus a $27.99 a bottle winner. And either way the cut goes, whatever road you take, you win. You're winning on these, even if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. Stole that. All right. So, Laissez les bon temps relay. Thanks for watching this afternoon taste challenge. And I guess Tuesday morning we go up with Crown Royal versus Caliber. Or Canadian Crest, whichever one they came out the same year, 04, whichever one I decide to pick, Caliber or Canadian Crest. But those are the next two in whatever order. Those are the next two coming up. So thanks. Nina, you already said rush.